G'day everybody, this is the Captain. Welcome back to the channel. A big thank you of course to each and every one of you that like and subscribe to these videos and you share them around the world with all of your buddies, all of your pals and all of your mates. Now today I wanted to show you some quick survival stuff for when you are out in the Australian bush, not to be confused with the American bush, which by the way I would also enjoy living in. I wanted to show you that it doesn't really matter about the quality of hatchet, tomahawk, axe, whatever you want to call them, that you buy. This is a $15 special, so it's not a very good axe. In fact, it's not even very sharp. In fact, it's not sharp at all. The edging is completely fucked on it as well. I've been out sharpening stones and stuff today, so I thought I'd have a look at the axe while I was... Did I say I was sharpening stones? I've been sharpening knives. So my hands are covered in stone. So this edging is completely fucked. Like it's off kilter. It's not very great at all. We've got more of a incline there than what we've got there. So the axe is not in great condition whatsoever. But the thing is if you kind of know what you're doing, like the fundamentals of sharpening, you know, blades and knives and axes and stuff, then it's not really down to if you can't afford a decent axe or a block splitter or whatever, and you need to carry basic equipment on you, like a little tomahawk like this, or you don't want to spend a fortune, then you know, you can actually sharpen them enough to get you by. Like you're not going to have it, you can't shave with it, I don't reckon, unless you really fucking want to, but you can at least make the edging enough that if you wanted to have a bit of a sharper blade on the side to make chopping a little bit easier if you're out collecting wood or whatever, especially out here in the Australian bush, then it's important to kind of know the basics of it. So here's the stone. I've had it soaking in a bit of water here. Some people use oil and stuff on their stones. Some people use WD-40, some people use oils. WD-40 suggests that you don't use WD-40 on your stone. I've never had a problem with it. It's never really mucked me around too much. But let's bring out the stone. There's two sides to this stone. There's a coarse side, which is a bit rougher, and a very smooth side. So the coarse side's really good for creating your edges, and your smooth side's really good for creating the sharpness that goes with it. Now there's different ways that people like to sharpen their blades and knives and stuff. We'll do the old-fashioned way. We're going to use the coarse side. Some people will do this, where they go from point to point, rotate that blade to create that edge. Some people will move the stone like that. That's fine too. Whatever feels comfortable with you. Now, if you've come over here to watch an expert sharpen a blade, you're on the wrong channel. I'm an Australian bushman that is just going to show the basics, and if you're sitting there going, oh, your technique's a little bit wrong, oh, that's not how you do it correctly, go fuck yourself. It's not your channel. I'm just showing you the basics on how to survive, if you need to, in the Australian wilderness, if you would. In case you ever come across a bunyip. That's right, the Australian bunyip. That will fuck you up, that animal. That is an animal that says, fuck around and find out. And you will, because they are not a fucking great animal to come across. It's a mythical animal, allegedly. Although I've seen one, I reckon. Some say that they look like a cross between a wombat and a platypus. Some people think that they're an ancestor of the drop bear. Some people think they look like an emu. Some people look like a fucking dingo that's been mixed with a slightly bigger dingo. I reckon that's just a medium-sized dingo, but whatever. But the bunyip, sharpest teeth on the planet, lives around water areas, so swamps, billabongs, creeks, waiting for you to fuck around, and then he's going to jump up and fuck you up. And you won't even hear that it came. The bunyip's just going to come out and fuck you over. That's just how they work. You might, oh, I might stop and have a little bit of a wee-wee against this bush over here, and as you're having your little wee-wee, the fucking bunyip jumps out of nowhere and snatches your fucking cock and balls off. All of a sudden, you're John Wayne Boppet trying to figure out what the hell happened. Your mates won't even know what happened to you until they hear the deafening cry of the bunyip, which simply goes, bunyip! And you're fucking running cockless down the street trying to figure out what the hell just snatched your dick off, because you didn't even feel it. It just took you by surprise. and fucked you up. And you'd be like, oh, well, that's the end of that, dick. But also the bunyip's really good at stripping your fucking skin and muscle and bone and leaving the skeletal remains. It's unbelievable, the bunyip. So don't fuck around with the bunyip. And maybe having a good little hatchet or tomahawk or axe or whatever you want to call them on you may prevent the bunyip attacking you, but don't fucking count on it. Because the bunyip, he's going to fuck you up nonetheless. So literally today all I'm doing is showing you how to get a bit of an edging with the coarse side. I'm not going to go razor sharp with this today. I'm just going to show you the basics of how to rotate your axe head through a stone. And then we're going to work on just making it just a little bit sharper. It's not going to be super sharp, just enough. So the edging's not too bad now. It's still very much out of kilter on this side. So we'll just give that a bit more of a run through. Let's bring up the angle a little bit because the angle is pretty basic. Or the incline. You can get all the real tools to make you a professional sharpener if you want, but as I said, if you know the basics, then you'll be all right to just get little bits of it done. I might just use just a small spray of that. Again, some people will go, oh, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, I know. But if it works, it works. So this is one way to do it. So you can get your edging going. Some people will actually clamp it to a bench. And then they can run either the stone like this. There's circular stones that you can get as well. And the other thing that people like to use is a file. You can use a metal file, and you can use a bit of tough grit sandpaper. Is another good way to do it as well. But I'm not here to show you how to get tough grit sandpaper sharpness so you can fucking cut your dick hairs with an axe. That's not what today is about. Today is literally just showing you that it doesn't really matter about the cost of your axe head if you're in a pinch. Right? As long as you know the fundamentals on how to sharpen a stone, and all I'm doing here is just going back and forth over that edge, then you're going to be okay. You're going to be alright. Bring the coarse side back onto this side. There's a nice bit of pressure. What I'm trying to do is create an edge in the middle that it hasn't got too big of a wide gap in it. We just want it to be, and because whoever machine sharpened this when it left the shop, because, you know, again, cheap axe, they didn't create any form of edging on it. So I'm just trying to rebalance an edge. Which, now this, to get this razor sharp, I probably could, but I'd have to sit here for a few hours and take it in a bit of turn and stuff. But all I want to do is just create that edge so we can work on just making it a little bit sharp. Now, the other thing about the adventures of the captain is I'm here for you guys. When I'm not creating other videos for the other channel, I want to be educating, if I can, in a comedic way, about the Australian bush. Again, not the American bush. And if you're an American that has a bush, I salute you, because it's hard to see flowers in a flower garden these days that haven't been killed by the desert. So, high five for you. You might have got to that age where you went, no, that's it. Let it all grow through. Or it might just not be your thing. And that's okay too. We're not here to talk about your pubic region. Well, I am, but, you know, you probably don't want to do that. Let me know in the comments. See, still the captain. Now that edging is coming along okay. It's not fucking super great. And again, there'll be people out there, oh no, you should have done it this way, or you should have... Yeah, I get that. But you're missing the point of the video. Sometimes you don't have, especially in the bush, you don't have time to get hold of all the important fucking sharpening stuff. It's good to have a nice sharp hatchet, axe, whatever, before you leave. And blades and knives and what have you. Now I'm going to use the finer side of the stone, by the way, to see if I can get a bit of a sharp edge going there. Yeah, you don't have time to have all this shit on you. If you're going camping or you're going walkabout, you want to have the bare minimum on you to minimise the weight in the back of your pack or off your belt. So some people will take a small one of these or a machete and a very small stone just to do basic sharpening when you're out and about. So again, this tactic works when you are out and about. And that's all I'm doing, is trying to show you the basics of it. I'm not trying to create beautiful Tin Men from Wizard of Oz type stuff. I just want to make sure if you are to ever go camping and you're relying on just a little bit of knowledge, then this won't do you wrong. Again, we're not getting razor sharp. We're not fucking using it to cut through fucking bone. We want it sharp enough to cut through a little bit of bloody wood here and there. And that's kind of it. Right? Because unless you want to sit here and watch me for 2 hours do this, alright, so that edge has come up nice. So we're starting to get a point on that edge, which is good. It doesn't help that the metal is off kilter a little bit. But again, easily fixed just by doing this for the next hour or so. And some people go, oh, an hour, really? Well, yeah, because it hasn't been sharpened at all ever in its life. So just keep lubricating the stone. Wrong side. We keep lubricating the stone to help the stone guide over the metal a lot better. You can use water, you can use oil, you can use olive oil. If you're a woman, you could probably use your own lubricant if you want. I don't really recommend it. You might rust the axe head, but you could. I'm like your parent, you can do whatever you want. If you're a man and you want to use semen as lubricant, I wouldn't. It's very claggy. It might make sharpening the edge a little bit difficult if you're getting caught in semen. Yeah, it's coming along. Again, not super sharp, but it should be sharp enough to do what I need. That edge is so fucked. It's raining here today, so I thought I'd take time to do this and catch up on sharpening some of my other stuff. I mean, bush knifing that is extremely sharp now, so I'm very happy with that. We'll go back to this way, bring down that edge. We want to try and make it to follow that edging that we created, so we can get that point going. And it makes it very difficult that I have to rotate the axe head at the same time, but again, we're getting there. Now, if I had made this razor blade sharp, then we could do the old paper test and stuff on it, but again, we're not at that level with such a cheap axe. Bigger, more expensive axes are easier to do because they normally come machine sharpened before you get to them. But these ones, I'm guessing, just ran through a quick grinder before they put out on the shelves. And you know, you could probably use a grinder if you've got a sharpening stone on your grinder. The most important thing is there's no nicks on the blade itself. There's no nicks, there's no divots. The edge is quite nice. It's not like super duper good, but it's just enough, and you can see where she's off kilter. she's just enough that if I needed to cut little things with it, I could. But I'm going to keep working on this over the next day or two, and I'll get it nice and sharp for you, so you can see how sharp you can actually get these little buggers. I just don't want to sit here for the next 3 hours straight sharpening this, and you're all going, well, how long is it going to take? When are we going to get there? Come on, Captain. We're hungry. Get this fucking axe nice and sharp for us already. Well, I will. Just not today. I just wanted to show you the basics on how to do a bit of stone sharpening. Again, this process works with... it's not bad. This process works with any blade. You know, you can do a shovel. I've used sharpening stone on my shovels before because it's a good way to keep a nice edge on your shovel. Having a good shovel edge, great for digging in clay and stuff. Occasionally I'll cheat and use a grinder on the edge on a shovel because it's a shovel. I've never really used a grinder, like a power grinder, on a blade like an axe or a knife or things to that nature, because I like the old style feel of it. If you don't mind getting a little bit dirty, you don't mind a bit of just being with oneself, then, you know, it's good. Again, my style is a lot different to other people out there that are experts in this, but I do want to reiterate, I'm not trying to make it fucking razor sharp right now. I'm not trying to show you that I'm the greatest axe sharpener on the planet, nor am I trying to show you that my way is the best way. Obviously, if you want to learn more about axe sharpening or blade sharpening, there's millions of videos on YouTube that cover it. Some of them are good, some of them are little backyard fellas like yourself that just like having a relatively sharp... I'm actually quite impressed with that edge. It's coming up quite nice. It's not sharp by any stretch of the imagination, but you'll see that we're starting to get a more even edge on both sides. So you just keep at it, and that's the only thing you can do. It's a lot of this, it's a lot of back and forth, it's a lot of patience. Unless you cheat and you use a power grinder or a sharpening stone on a workbench. But if you just want to be an Australian bushman and you want to just make it just right for you, so you know your own equipment, then there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. You can probably hear all the birds and stuff in the background. We've got galahs, crimson rosellas. We've got it all going on down this way. But that's going to do me for now. That's about the best I'm going to get it in this little sitting. It's not bad. It's definitely a lot better than what it was, but I need to bring this edge more central on this side, which is why I've been paying more attention to this side than this side. So I need to keep working on that, get that edge point nice and right. Oh, she's good. Just give it a bit of a clean. Get the stone out of the way here. We'll give it a little bit of a clean. I'll have a look at it properly. Okay, so the edging, you can see where I've missed a few times, but you can see the new edge in there, so that's come up all right. As I said, this side needs a lot more work on it. You need to bring that edge right in, and that's going to take a lot longer than right now. So I'll keep working on this over the next few weeks, or next few days I should say. I'll get it up to a good standard, and I'll show you how sharp we got it. But for right now, I think she'll do the job. Like, well, she'll do a job. Well, not a great job, but a job. Hang on a sec. What's this do? Now, when I first got this, I couldn't do anything with it, but let's just see where we're up to. Yeah, see, it's that edge. I'm coming in on a slight angle there too, but she definitely needs a lot more work. A lot more fucking work. But that's okay. We'll keep working at it. But that will do for today, boys and girls and children of all ages. Big thank you, each and every one of you. Feel free to leave comments and all that sort of stuff. Tell me where I went wrong if you want, but I'm not going to really care. Yeah, see. Just need to get back at it with me coarse side a little bit more. Bring it, that edging back in. Once I got that edging done, the sharpening side of it is going to be a lot fucking easier. I need to take that fucking divot out that I created. It's what happens when you're trying to use one hand to do things. Alright, that's it. Hooroo! Alright, so after about another half hour or so, again, she's not going to be as sharp as a razor, I'll be guessing, but she'll be sharp enough to do the job. So let's just do the old paper test here. Alright, so cuts through the paper alrightish. I'm just doing this so I don't actually tear the paper, otherwise it doesn't give me a proper indication. So just with a little bit of pressure, I've taken it from nothing to at least functional. I just tore apart. Let's try a bit of paper. So yeah, she went from nothing, like you saw how blunt she was, and just by doing those techniques that I showed you with the coarse and the smooth side of the stone, I managed to give her just a good enough edge where, you know, she's just better than a butter knife, I reckon. She's not much better than a butter knife, but it's a lot better than what she was, that's for sure. So I'm actually quite impressed with that, because she wasn't going to do much there for a bit. And again, my style's a bit different to everybody else's, but that didn't work. See, just want to show that I'm not tearing the paper, I'm just pulling gently, and it's like I'm pulling down over the blade, and she's doing the job. See, well, that's already got a tear in it. Let's do, so you start her on a point, because as I said, she's not much sharper than a butter knife, but it'll get you out of trouble. If you know, again, $15 fucking axe. It's nothing to write home about. Like, and she's not the sharpest axe in the world, nor am I going to get her to being the sharpest axe in the world. You know, but a bit more elbow grease and a bit more time up my sleeve, I could probably get away with making her razor sharp. But for right now, that's going to do the job that I want it to do. So just going to take the little limbs and stuff off the trees that I need. And again, it was just a simple case of, you know, using the smooth side and just creating a sharp edge and getting her going. That doesn't help when I bounce it off the bloody blade. And then, yeah, once she's singing and dancing, oh, that's a bit better. So just even then, just even a few little goes over with her. Again, not the sharpest in the world, not the dullest in the world, but she's a lot better than what she was an hour ago. So I finally worked out that warp in the blade, or in the X head, if you would. Once that was out, I managed to work in a straight edge. Once I got my straight edge going, then it was just a simple case of giving her a little bit of a sharp. And just even with a few seconds of sharpening, or maybe 10 minutes worth of using the smoother edge on it, I managed to get that type of edge where it's the beginning of being sharp and the beginning of being able to, get it working at least semi-good. Hook to her! So, that's about it for today. That's it. Hooroo.